But yes, Petteri, the floor is yours.
Here as a talent acquisition lead, been at the company now since February, so 7 months. And yeah, so what does Varjo do? Well, currently we have 2 products. We have the VR1 device that was launched in February 2019. And VR1 is the world's only human eye resolution headset, virtual reality headset. And it comes with this world's most advanced integrated eye tracking system as well, which is also developed in-house, this algorithm. And it's also compatible with the most popular 3D software tools, and has, for instance, we have integration for Unreal Engine, Unity Engine, and lots of this kind of design software tools that are used in the automotive industry, for instance. Then other thing that we unveiled in May 2019 is a mixed reality device, which combines the human eye resolution that we have in the VR1 device and the eye tracking system, but it gives you a possibility to basically combine the virtual and the reality around you by using these 2 cameras that are on front of the headset. So basically, what's the kind of unique selling point for that on top of these 2 things is the very low latency, which means that we have actually had some customers, which I'm not going to name, driving on roads, obviously test roads, still in cars like 180 kilometers an hour, the driving, and they have the headset on, and they are seeing the world through the headset, and they have this virtual layer on top of the car inside, basically. So that's the kind of level that we are at in this kind of still prototype phase, because we want to start selling this device, and it won't be ready until probably sometime later this year. That's what we're aiming for. There's actually in the next slide there is a kind of comparison in between these devices. If you could show the next slide. Yeah. So here basically in VR1, you design a virtual object, XR1, you stay connected to the real world, so you can be designing something, but you can see outside that there's some person who's asking you something, and you won't be completely isolated, so that's nice. And then you can visualize the virtual object, but you can see it in the real world. So for instance, you can be designing a car, but you can see it in front of you, like on the table, for instance. You can put it into a small scale, so it can be like a small toy car, but you can see everything, all the details as they would be in real life. Also make it easy when you are showing this to your boss or design director, for instance. If you're a designer, we don't have to spend so much time prototyping, for instance, at the customer. Then you can experience a visual simulation VR1, but in XR1 you can also see your hands and controllers, so you can see the joystick, and you can have this elaborate simulation services. For instance, if you are say flying a commercial airliner, there's plenty of different switches that you can press, and you can have this really seamless virtual experience with these physical controls using the device. And yeah, as I mentioned before, you can test a new design and then integrate it into the real world, because you can see what you're doing in front of you. So in the next slide, we can see our different industry verticals basically that we're working with. So yes, industrial design. So the fact is that when we launched the virtual VR1 product, we started talking about it with some select customers. The first companies that were interested were these best car companies, because obviously for them the design is and making it faster and making cars safer is a very important aspect. Then there's training and simulation. So for airline pilots, fighter pilots, it's very important to have this possibility to read everything inside the space. And then we have architecture and engineering. So you can build, you can have a virtual model of a building that you're building and have this furniture and everything lying around, for instance, and see it very realistically. And if you have a big space, you can walk in there, or you can actually go to the physical space where you just overlay this virtual furniture if you're using the XR1 product. So that's really cool. And then there's also like entertainment side stuff. So some also big production companies are interested to create these kind of very immersive experiences using help. So for instance, in industrial design side or car company side, they've been really trying to use VR for like 20 years now, and it's really cool to be working with them because they can really appreciate the kind of jump in quality that we've been able to make using the VR1 device. And in the last slide, we go through some basic information. So Varjo is now 3 years old. Actually, the first office that we moved into was we moved there in 2016 September, and now we moved to this brand new office in July this year in the heart of Helsinki, right next to the railway station. I unfortunately don't have any pictures of it because it's still new and sort of under renovation, but will be ready when you would get here if you're moving in from Ukraine. We have 140 employees, so we've grown by around 50 employees this year. We're looking still to hire around 20 employees this year more. We have 14 nationalities. English is the working language, and basically at this point we're still a growth company and sort of a startup phase, so we're running with this a lot with investment money. So last round of big investment that we got was Series B funding last October 2018. Naturally, next step will be the Series C funding, which is probably coming sometime soon, maybe. In terms of positions and what we are looking for, we have graphics, rendering, GPU side, people that we're looking for, computer vision, data science as well, and automated testing. We also use robot framework a lot, and the main stack is on C++. So pretty much everything on the software side is made on C++, but there's also some Python that we use and C on the embedded side. If you want to check what jobs we have open now, you can go to the varjo.com/jobs website and also see a bit more about the device. But I'll be there in person at the event, looking forward to it, and I'll also be bringing with me the VR1 device so you can actually see what this is about. It's really something that you cannot explain in detail. You have to experience it yourself. So looking forward to meeting you all there.